Well, the holiday season is here. Many people are eager to eat, to drink, but we don't want to waste any of that food.
And be merry. You got to add that in there.
Eat, drink, be merry, yes, but don't waste it.
And don't waste any food. Apparently, Americans are throwing away as much as 25% more trash between Thanksgiving and the New Year's holidays. Are here to help us out with not doing that. NDSU Extension Service Family Nutrition Program Agent. Boy, that's a big title.
I know. It's pretty important.
It's a long one.
You are a really big deal.
I know.
Do you have a lot of leather-bound books?
What's that? Oh, yes. Leather-bound books, big briefcase, all the important things.
Does it smell of rich mahogany?
I like how we're quoting Anchorman on the
Thank you.
show.
Finally, I love that.
She's with you,
Nailed
Chris.
it.
She's got it. Okay, but let's talk about food waste, because especially when we're going to be filling our bellies up. Oh, I almost knocked that plate down. Filling our bellies up, it's important that we aren't wasting any of that food.
Yeah, so we are just about to embark on the season of food-centric holidays. So Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Between now and New Year's Eve, we usually have a ton of different activities that are very food-centric. And as you mentioned, this time of year is also a time when we become pretty wasteful. We end up eating a lot more than we usually intend to do, and we end up wasting a lot. So what's really great to know about food waste, though, is there are a lot of really simple things that we can do with planning, being mindful in our meals, and then knowing how to store our food after so that we don't let good food go to waste.
Okay, so let's start where?
Let's start over here with our plates. So if you're familiar at all with people who are watching calories, they're usually encouraged to use smaller plates because we tend to always fill our plate. So if we're given a plate, I'm going to fill it up. So this plate that I have here in the front that's set for the Thanksgiving meal, it's really easy to fill that up, right? Like, that's not an extravagant meal to prepare, but it's about 1,000 calories. So it's a pretty hefty meal. And also, people tend to eat about 25% or leave about 25% of their meal on their plate. So I might only eat 2/3 of that roll, leave some turkey, leave some potatoes. So leaving about 25% of it.
Chris would leave all the broccoli.
No, you don't like
No,
broccoli?
I do like broccoli.
Just kidding. If it was Brussels sprouts, they'd be left there.
Brussels sprouts, yes.
I'm glad I went with the broccoli because I was debating broccoli or Brussels sprouts. So simply switching to an 8-inch plate, it reduces the surface area by about 20%, so you're able to still fill the plate. And oftentimes we end to eat with our eyes versus eating with our stomachs, so that's a really simple way to cut some of the waste at the meal.
What's crazy, Will, can you show those two plates side by side a little bit more? I mean, that 8-inch plate to me looks like it's about 4 compared to the 10-inch one, doesn't it?
I know, it looks tiny.
Yeah.
But then if I take this one away, and that's your only option for people.
Are you playing mind games?
That looks like a nice size plate.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Don't have the 2 different plate options out there. Just have the one, and it makes a big difference. Another simple thing to do when you're actually serving the meal is put out tasting spoons. This is actually something that Concordia College has done in their dining area, and they allow people to go and just take a taste of something before they actually choose to have that dish. So if you're making your Thanksgiving meal and you're saying, you know, I'm going to try this new soup.
This is my tasting spoon.
Chris picks the biggest tasting spoon. He goes to the ice cream shop. This is my tasting spoon.
These are teaspoons, so they are smaller size, but it allows people to just take a taste of something, say, you know, I like this, I want a full serving, or no, I'm good. I don't need to have that.
I like that.
Yeah. And you're not hurting anyone's feelings if you don't take everything that's offered on the table or the buffet or wherever you are.
Exactly. And that's part of the beauty of being the host as well, is kind of encouraging people, you know, I want you to have a great meal, I want you to enjoy all the different foods, but as a family or a group of friends that are gathering together, let's enjoy our meal, but let's not be wasteful of it as well.
So I'm guessing this means put out smaller spoons for scooping too.
Yeah, so you jumped the gun on my serving spoons. So you can see here I have 4 different spoons that are available for serving size. And if I put out this big serving spoon for the mashed potatoes, everyone's going to take a big glop of mashed potatoes. And I'm not sure if you guys have been through a buffet line before, but I know I've gone through multiple times where all of a sudden a big splash comes out on my plate that I did not intend to have. But it's not socially acceptable to put the food back.
Just kidding.
So give people some options. Do smaller spoons. If you do a medium-sized spoon and people need 4 scoops to get however much they want, or if it's just 1 scoop for their tastings, really simple. If you don't have a bunch of different size spoons at home, this is a great place to go to the thrift store. They have tons of silverware there, super cheap. Go just get a bunch of different spoon sizes so you have them around home.
Right.
Going back to this plate over here where I had that monster bun.
Yes.
If you only have 1 bun size, everyone's going to take a bun, but they're not going to eat it. So do smaller buns, cut buns in half, have those out on the table so people, no one's going to say no to the bun.
Right.
It's just like the staple of the meal. But if you serve the 300-calorie supersized bun.
Right. It helps push things on your fork so that you can eat everything on your plate. But then you get done and you're like, oh, now I just have this bun. I can't fit it in my stomach because I'm waiting for pie. That's what I'm waiting for.
You have some solid eating skills.
I do.
She does.
I'm a champion when it comes to eating.
So I'm not sure what it's like in your guys' households, but we have this tendency where we do a buffet for the meal, but then when it gets to the end at pie, everyone just gets the same size piece of pie.
Right.
Like, who wants pie? I do. We bring everybody out the same size. Well, Grandma Joyce does not want the same piece of pie as Cousin John, who's a 16-year-old high school athlete.
Right.
So it's kind of nice to present some different size options for people, to say the small, medium, and large, and how much pie do you want? And giving people that option. Pie is delicious, but it also packs a lot of calories too. So giving people some flexibility with that, or doing the desserts on a buffet as well, not making everybody take the exact same size.
I love this idea because there is times when you're like, oh, I don't want to skip on the pie, but I only have room for that little sliver. And if they give you a big piece, you're probably going to eat the whole piece.
You're probably going to eat it, or you're going to leave it sitting on your plate, and you can't save those leftovers.
Right.
Those end up having to go in the trash. So start small and increase. If people want another piece, have another piece.
Now I like your little container that looks like a little
great.
mini Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, and so often what I hear from people is that they have so gorged themselves on Thanksgiving that they might think, you know, I can't be having these foods on Friday and Saturday. But that's a really nice portion-controlled meal. It's about 500 calories. Those little meal prep boxes that you can buy at most grocery stores and super-sized stores today, they make really excellent meal kits. And that's something where you can buy 20 of those for about $10. How nice to be able to send home your guests with a little meal at the end of the gift too, or at the end of the meal as well.
I love that. Yeah.
And then that way it's not all sitting in your fridge, which then you might end up throwing out the mashed potatoes because they got too soggy or something.
Totally.
Do they get soggy? I don't know.
I think they can get dry. Is usually what
they
happens
just get
with
that
the
weird
mashed
smell to them.
Yeah.
That's the cauliflower mashed potatoes you're talking about, Larson.
Maybe.
You're a fan of the cauliflower mashed potatoes?
I did. I liked it.
They are pretty tasty.
And so would that go in the eat now bin in your fridge?
Yeah. So this is something that is so simple, but it is so effective. Simply creating an eat now bin in your fridge, putting everything in there that needs to go in the next 2 to 3 days, and that's how long leftovers last. It's going to be about 2 to 3 days that you want to eat those in. So put them in the eat now container so those mashed potatoes don't get shoved to the back and you find them 2 weeks later and they are got that funky smell going on.
Yeah.
So we've got about 30 seconds left. Yeah, this is really cool what you're doing.
Yeah, so this is another project that I'm involved with called the Little Free Garden Project, and we've been doing this for a couple years in the Fargo area, but we're excited to announce we just partnered with Fargo Stuff. And the Little Free Garden registration kits are available online now, so you can buy them at fargostuff.com. And they're also going to be at the Apt Christmas Market at the Apt Space in downtown Fargo this Saturday for Small Business Saturday. So it's small raised bed gardens in people's front yard. You grow the food and anyone can harvest it. So giving the gift of growing.
Yeah, I see the little free libraries all the time, so this would be a really fun idea for all those gardeners out there to do in the springtime.
That is a great idea. So where do I get information on that from you?
So you can find more about that on littlefreegarden.com, or you can visit fargostuff.com to purchase your own Little Free Garden registration
And I think you said this whole concept was created out of North Dakota, right?
Yeah, it was a small group of us that started it here in 2015, and it's slowly growing. It's now in 9 states and Canada.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the helpful tips, too.
You are very welcome.
Put
Have
out
a
the
very
small
happy
plates.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah,
Take
you
the
too.
small pie, Christy. Happy Thanksgiving. Yay.
All right, stay with us. Much more coming up right here on North Dakota Today.